feel like this shirt is worth wearing for what we're about to get into. Hi, it's me, Kanati. I'm your favorite dinosaur guy, and I had some discourse going on TikTok for some reason, and people got mad at me. So the comment that I did was, there are no nerfs in paleontology, it's just painting a better picture than we had before. Very true statement. When paleontologists go out and they start uncovering more information about dinosaurs, we're just painting a better picture than what we had before. We don't have a full picture, we'll never get a full picture. But it's an analogy that I like to use because that's kind of what it is. It's like a puzzle where you're always gonna have missing pieces, but we have a lot and we're starting to put them together. We're starting to figure out what the picture is. We may not get a full picture, we may be missing a whole right corner, or we'll have sporadic pieces missing from the puzzle here and there, but that's just how it's gonna be. There's nothing we can do about it. So I thought that that was a pretty good comment, hoping people would go through and be like, well, what do you mean? Or a lot of, yeah, I know what you mean kind of stuff. I didn't get a lot of that. So one of the first comments I got was, bro, Nerf is just a joke. With these comments, I did respond to like most of them, but I don't believe it is a joke. When the new Spinosaurus from Jurassic World Rebirth came out, a lot of people were like, it got nerfed. And I'm like, there are no nerfs. That's not how it works. It's just, we have a better image of what Spinosaurus is supposed to look like anyway. So from 2001, Jurassic Park 3 to now, Spinosaurus has had an upgrade, in my opinion, to what it looks like. So back in the early 1900s, when it was found in Egypt, we only had a few fossils. We had a little bit of the snout, we had some of the dorsal vertebrae, and I believe we had maybe an arm or a leg. But we didn't know exactly what it looked like based off of all those fossils. A lot of paleo artists, when they were trying to put it together, they gave it a very thick Tyrannosaur looking head, and they stood it up on its hind legs with the tail dragging on the ground like they always used to do, because they thought that they were kangaroos, I guess. Obviously, we had the sail. It wasn't really known what the sail was gonna look like, but I would say that they grabbed a lot of information from Dimetrodon, which also has a sail. Died way before the dinosaurs, but at least we had that information at the time, so they were like, maybe it was a sail. It looks just like that, so let's put it on there. Come 2001, we built a newer image of what Spinosaurus looked like based off of its cousins, Suchomimus and Baryonyx. So those two dinosaurs have a very long crocodilian looking snout, and so they gave that to Spinosaurus because based off of the other bones that Baryonyx and Suchomimus both had in common, they were like, okay, so Spinosaurus is very much in this same family. I mean, even Suchomimus has some longer vertebrae in its back. They're not much of a sail, but it was probably more of a hump-like structure, kind of like Acrocanthosaurus or something like that. But it wasn't as tall and as exaggerated as Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus has that long snout with those snaggly teeth and the little nook in its jaw, or its maw rather, to be more piscivorous, or it used its mouth to eat fish. Now, when Jurassic Park 3 came out, obviously, when I was a kid, I loved that movie, and Spinosaurus was great. I was a little mad that Spinosaurus killed my favorite dinosaur at the time, and I still thought it was a really cool dinosaur. I even had like a really big, not stuffed, it was like rubber, but like on the inside it was like squishy. So it was like a big, posable Spinosaurus from the movie. So back in 2001, when Jurassic Park 3 came out, obviously Spinosaurus was the big bad, and it killed T-Rex, and there's much unneeded debate on whether or not T-Rex and Spinosaurus, who would win in a fight, which, based off of fossil evidence, it's a little obvious, but we're not getting into that right now. We're getting these people that really enjoyed the old Spinosaurus from 2001, and they're getting a little frustrated with paleontologists and updating the way it looks based off of the fossils that we're actually bringing out in recent times. Nowadays, this is what Spinosaurus looks like. Now the sail is still debated. We don't know exactly what shape it was, but some people think it had this little dip. Some people think it's just a full, half moon shape. It has more of a fluked tail, which means that about right here, it starts not having these osteoderms, but it has like a fin almost going here. Kind of like a water dragon. If you've ever seen those type of lizards that walk or run across the water, they have this nice fin that goes on top of their back and on their tail. So paleontologists and scientists and others think that it's more of a display structure for the tail and for the sail. There was much debate on whether or not it could swim. And due to this paper here, we now know that it's a little more buoyant than we thought. And it wouldn't be able to fully submerge itself underwater. It was more like a death heron, where it may have stood around in the water using its nose like crocodilians do by sensing vibrations in the water where fish would be and be able to snatch it out of the water. Now, a lot of this is very speculative. We don't know a whole heck of a lot about Spinosaurus, but we do have a better image of what it looks like based off of new fossils that we've been finding. Speaking of that, again, it is painting a better picture than we had before. As I had said, and somebody commented, they're painting the pictures wrong. The Spino did not look like a fat fish. I don't understand why we're saying it looks like a fish. Because it doesn't look like a fish. It's such a goofy thing to say. Oh, it's a fat fish. It's like, where are we seeing the fat fish? Where are we seeing it look like a fish? If anything, Mosasaurus, not even related to dinosaurs, looks more fish-like than this guy. Another comment that I got a lot was, you must be fun at parties. Got it a couple of times. And of course I had to be like, actually, I am fun at parties. It's just so funny that they make fun of me for this. And I'm like, people, like my friends, will actually come up to me and ask me information about dinosaurs. They'll be like, I heard T-Rex was related to the chicken. Is that true? And I'll be like, well, technically, yeah. And then go into it because they know that I love dinosaurs and they know that they can get good information from me, who has been studying dinosaurs since he was a little kid. It's just funny because they make that as like, oh, I'm making fun of you because you're such a nerd and like nobody's gonna like you at a party. When in reality, every party that I've gone to, they do like me at parties. I don't know if I'm killing your party, whatever party that you're into, but I'm sorry for that. But I'm just spitting facts. I don't know what else you want me to say. Another fish comment that I had was Spinosaurus went from badass T-Rex rival to weird fish. Again, fish thing. I don't understand. A very, I don't want to call it dismissive, but something that was just a little more subtle than all the other comments I was getting was, I feel like being different today. No, not really. I like dinosaurs enough to know what the accurate science is, and I look and read those papers, which are all linked down below, just so you know. I'm just so into them that I want to stay up to date. This is nothing about, cool bro dinosaurs, like, oh, I need a moth. I'm not Jurassic World. Look at the first movie. All they were talking about was you wanted more teeth. You didn't want them to be accurate. You wanted them to be scarier and spikier and whatever. And now we have the garbage that is Jurassic World, because that's what every Jurassic Park fan wants. They keep wanting all of these like abominations, and that's not the science. That's not what it is. And I like Jurassic Park. I like the first 3 movies, but once Jurassic World hit, I was like, I'm done. Because we have plenty of opportunity to actually teach these people how dinosaurs are, what they are, treat them like animals and not like superheroes. And we get comments coming at me because I would prefer something that's a little bit more set in reality rather than let's have dinosaurs fight each other all the time. Then we get this lovely comment. Shut up. And I said, nah, I'm good. And then they say, shut your bitch ass up. And I was like, oh, you trying to look tough for the internet? I got nothing back. As far as we've gone, got nothing back. That was the last comment that I got. I thought that was absolutely hilarious to tell me to shut up when I'm just like, hey, there are no nerfs. This isn't a video game. These aren't superheroes. I don't understand this power scaling thing. Why do we have to do this with animals when they're just animals? And this is a huge problem because now anytime somebody wants to get into dinosaurs, they take them to Jurassic Park, and anybody who's like a super fan of Jurassic Park, I feel like doesn't really get into the actual science. They prefer the weird lore of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, and they don't really get into paleontology, which is so weird because when Jurassic Park came out, that got a bunch of people into paleontology, probably because they treated the dinosaurs like animals. They treated them like just living animals. Scared because they're broken out. They're like, oh, this is a whole new world. What do I do? Like, they hyped it up a little bit when it came to, you know, the dinosaur attacks because, you know, you gotta have a movie. They still treated them like animals. In Jurassic Park: The Lost World, that was a huge thing for it. It was basically like a nature conservation mission that turned into somebody trying to take these animals out of their environment and put them in a city so they could have a cute little park and make a lot of money. That's not what they're supposed to be. That whole island in general, Site B, Isla Sorna, is just so those animals can live and thrive and do what they do. That's all I want with Jurassic Park. I would much rather have a very nature documentary feel to Jurassic Park than have them fight each other all the time. And there's just all of these people on the internet, all of a sudden, just, there's no better word for it, but glazing over the old Spinosaurus and not appreciating the hard work that goes into discovering new information about dinosaurs. I linked the paper down below. You can read that there. It is a fantastic representation of all the work that gets put into figuring out this new thing about this dinosaur, making a peer-reviewed paper, which means that many scientists, many paleontologists, many people come together, look at that paper and are like, yes, actually, everything that you're saying there matches what we're all saying. So peer-reviewed, good to go. And then you go off and make it public access. Thank you for making it public access. And then you can read it and see what the paleontologists do when they find these new fossils and the process that they're able to figure out what it does, what it could have been used for, whatever the bone may be. This turns out to be the tail. It's spectacular. And there are people on the internet that just don't get it. And I don't know why. And I don't know why. Yeah, and I even had some people that were like, I don't understand why people are hating on you. And I was like, I don't know either. But apparently I'm fun at parties. So what I'm trying to say is, people of the internet, whether that be YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, wherever you may be, if you're super into Jurassic Park, I would highly suggest going into more of the science of paleontology and dinosaurs in general, so then you're not always thinking about predators killing everything. If anything, herbivores are more dangerous than predators. When it comes to like something like Styracosaurus, look at all those spikes. Look at that big horn. Here, check this guy out. Why do you think he looks the way that he does? Because it's a defense. This thing may not be super powerful, but it's something that protects it and makes it look scary so predators don't want to eat it. What about the thyreophorans like Ankylosaurus? Look at all those osteoderms sticking out of the skin. Those are bone. Look at that tail club. That's a bone. Look at all these spikes on the head, right? And then you got Sauropelta. No club tail, but look at all those spikes. Look at these giant spikes that stick out of the body to protect itself from predators. Then you got Stegosaurus with these giant plates most likely for display, but they probably intimidated other dinosaurs. And then you got this Thagomizer. Like, these are 5-foot long spikes that stick out of its tail. These things were built to fight and built to not be eaten by predators. You look at predators like Carcharodontosaurus. Let me get him out. Carcharodontosaurus, where are the spikes at? Where are the osteoderms? Nowhere, because they have grasping hands and they have big giant heads with a lot of teeth. That's all they need, because they're the ones eating things. They're not needing any kind of defense. So when you got predators that are fighting each other for no reason but to fight each other, that's not nature. That's not how it works. Look at crocodilians. Look at birds. Look at lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. They don't go out of their way to kill each other. It's a lot of territory thing. It's a lot of maybe mating stuff, maybe, some birds and some lizards and whatnot, they fight each other for mates. That's it. And when you get, an animal that's just like, all right, I'm done, it just backs off. That's all it needs to do. It doesn't need to continue the fight until it dies. And there's just so many Jurassic Park people that's all they want. They just want dinosaurs to fight each other and kill each other, and they power scale stuff, and I don't understand. I just don't get it. So if you're into that stuff, I beg you, look at scientific peer-reviewed papers. You gotta update yourself on the science of dinosaurs. Don't get me wrong, Jurassic Park is fantastic. I watch those first 3 movies probably once a year, if not more than once when it comes to the first movie. And they're great films. But Jurassic World really kind of sucked that really good information about dinosaurs down into the dumpster by just having superhero-like characters and really bad story. Like, it's just not a good story anymore. And now we got all these kids that think Mosasaurus, Pterodactyl, because apparently that's still a thing, and Quetzalcoatlus and like all these dinosaur-like things, they keep calling them dinosaurs and they're not. There are kids now that say Indominus Rex or the Indoraptor. They're my favorite dinosaur, and they're not dinosaurs. And then you got Jurassic World Rebirth that is saying they need DNA from the biggest dinosaurs, the 3 biggest dinosaurs from air, land, and sea, when you only have one dinosaur. Land. All dinosaurs are terrestrial. They don't fly like you would think. Back in the day, we have avian dinosaurs like birds. When we're talking Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, that's not what they mean. They mean dinosaurs, non-avian dinosaurs. Quetzalcoatlus is not a dinosaur. It's related, but it's not a dinosaur. Mosasaurus is not a dinosaur. It's not even closely related. They're more related to snakes and lizards than dinosaurs, and it just bothers me. I know this is a big rant. I understand that this may be a longer video than you're expecting, but it's just so bothersome to me that people are not educating others about the actual science when it comes to dinosaurs and paleontology. Dinosaurs aren't just for kids, they're for everybody. And those kids that are getting into dinosaurs should know the information that we have nowadays. Jurassic World is not helping by giving us really bad looking dinosaurs. You can make them, designed for the Jurassic franchise, but when you start putting in giant mutant alien dinosaurs into your franchise for children to be really into and making all these toys and backpacks and stuff, and nothing is real, these kids are gonna get so confused when they get up, older, and they're just like, so that's not a dinosaur? Indominus Rex isn't real? What? They're kids, they don't know what the script says. You, as an adult or as a teenager or whomever, need to teach children that dinosaurs are just animals. They're just animals. We have people out there digging in the Badlands and everywhere to just help us figure out what happened in the past. Like I always say, they are attempting to paint a better picture than what we previously had. And if your mind is stuck in the early 18 to 1900s, When it comes to paleontology, that's really bad. Please, I get it. Spinosaurus is a cool dinosaur. Jurassic Park has a cool looking Spinosaurus. Do not get me wrong there. It is a cool looking dinosaur. It is a cool plot point. I do like it. But when you keep saying that they're nerfing it in real life, the real animal is being nerfed, it's not a superhero. It is not a character. It's not a toy. It's not a video game, what have you. It is just an animal, and we are learning more about it. The rant is now over. Hope you guys will look at the papers that I have linked down below, and the information there will hopefully get you more into the paleontology side of dinosaurs. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please comment down below. I beg you, because I want to help you. I want to help out. I want you to know that these films are fun. They can be fun. They are fun. I like them, but they're not reality. Thank you so much for looking into the information, coming here and listening to my rant about Spinosaurus. And I hope you have a great day. But do me a favor. Check out KanatiGOTHhub.com. I got all sorts of fun stuff that have to do with me. I got art prints. I do commissions as well, so you can email me at KanatiGOTH@gmail.com and we can set something up. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, like I said, you can comment down below or email me. I'm usually live on Twitch every Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Play video games. I put out a poll on my Discord, so you can always follow me there. But literally all of my information that has to do with me is on my website, KanatiGOTHhub.com. Thank you so much. And please stop glazing Spinosaurus! It's just a dinosaur!